Hi, my name is Frank Schaefer. Amongst other things, I am the proud father of a U.S. Marine who served in Afghanistan and Iraq at the beginning of those wars, 2 combat tours in Afghanistan and 1 in Iraq. And I guess that makes me feel close to the men and the women defending Ukraine today on the 1-year anniversary of that war. Who I do not feel close to are the Republican leaders in Congress and others like Tucker Carlson on Fox News and the rest, who are now clearly rooting for Vladimir Putin to win in that war. In the 1930s, there were American fascists and pro-Nazi groups in the US, some led by very famous people, such as the flyer Lindbergh, Henry Ford, who was an anti-Semite, and others. We swept that trash away and went to war in defense of Western Europe against the aggressor and won that war. We need to sweep away the trash now in this country that is standing up for fascism and aggression and unprovoked attack from the right. The most shameful group of all in these pro-Putin American traitors are so-called evangelicals in the Christian nationalist movement that like Vladimir Putin because he hates gay people and trans people and freedom of speech as much as they do. We are at a divide in our history, and the war in Ukraine has amplified that divide. I never thought I would see anybody claiming to be a Republican side with Russia against the United States. We have lived to see that. These are disgusting people, and they need to be stopped. They need to be beaten at every election. They need to have their credibility destroyed, and traitorous groups such as Fox News need to be closed down. This is a time when everyone needs to stand up and be counted. You know, I did not support the president that sent my son to war. I did not vote for George W. Bush, although ironically, I know him personally because of my family's own involvement in the religious right in the 1970s and 80s, which I fled, which I left, which I am ashamed to have been part of. But back in those days, it would have been unthinkable for Republican friends of mine, such as Bob Dole, who ran for president, or Jack Kemp, whose home I used to stay in, to side with an aggressor against American interests. Russia is our enemy. They have thousands of nuclear weapons pointed at our cities and at our military. They are an expansionist, totalitarian, authoritarian state now, in thrall to a lying dictator. The fact that Tucker Carlson supports them and Fox News supports them is because Tucker Carlson is also a liar, someone who lied openly in his emails within the Fox organization, saying that he knew that Donald Trump had lost the election and nonetheless wanted to maintain the big lie to the public that watches Fox News because he did not think they would support him or that Fox News would make money if they lost viewers by admitting the truth, and that was that Biden had won. And now Tucker Carlson and Fox News and a number of Republican leaders in Congress and the Senate, and even for presidential candidates like Ron DeSantis and, of course, Donald Trump, who has always been an ally of Vladimir Putin, are pushing for Ukraine's defeat, and therefore the defeat of NATO, the defeat of the United States, the defeat of our interests and the interests of freedom. This line has been crossed. There are traitors in our midst. We need to call them out by name. We need to shame them into silence. And to those evangelicals supporting this authoritarian, anti-God, Jesus-hating man, Vladimir Putin, who uses rape as a method of war, who should be in The Hague on trial for crimes against humanity, even as I speak, is unthinkable. You are shameful people. My name is Frank Schaefer.